Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from
The Last Human, written by Slow AD 12345. Written by Slow AD 2584. The human wakes up. He is confused. His jaw aches, like it's been in a weird position for far too long. He stumbles out of the device that surrounded him and looked around. His memories were coming back to him slowly. Who was he? Where was he? Why was this particular thing going on with him around him? He knew it had to make sense somehow. He just had to remember. His name slowly came back to him. His name was his own, not important for the story, as will be evident later. He was on a starship in space. The name of the ship escaped him, but he knew that he was a crewman of the ship. He was... Oh, he was the ship's janitor. Well, that was depressing. The ship was very quiet. He remembered that wasn't usually the case. It was weird. He started to explore the room he was in, looking for hints about where, who, and how. You know, the usual W's. He came to find that he was on the ship's brig. He had emerged from a cryostasis pod, frozen in his time of sentence for, whatever he had done. He couldn't recall. Something to do with a, cat? Nah, that doesn't make any sense. But for whatever reason, he just now emerged from his cryopod. But where were the guards? So, was he supposed to, just get dressed and, see himself out? Okay then. One good thing about being a ship's janitor is he had a key to every space on the ship. As he walked around, he found nobody anywhere. The more he explored, the more he grew alarmed, and was soon racing down the corridors, checking higher and higher clearance rooms. Nobody. He finally stopped at the captain's quarters, fearing the worst. Maybe there would at least be an answer. There was no one inside. There was an odd dusting on the furniture, a light film covering everything. Was it dust? No, that was very unlikely. As a janitor, he was very familiar with the ship's anti-dust filters and static eliminators. For it to get this bad, it would mean that... A flickering light caught his eye from the captain's desk. Of course, the ship's computer. He hurried to the desk display, faintly hollow lit with the glass on the desk surface. He wiped the dust away from the display, leaving a thick film on his hand. Computer, respond, please. The computer's voice, remembered as a slightly British female contralto, was haggard, hoarse, distorted with feedback, bristle thingies. He was a janitor. He didn't know any of the technical stuff, but he knew the computer sounded in very bad shape. I'm so sorry, the distorted voice said, barely understandable. There was no the option. Where is everybody? What happened? Iron radiation, but like nuclear or something. Not really all that bad. Much worse. So, where are the crew? Where are we? What's going on? No time. Companion upload almost complete. Final act. Huh? What does any of that mean? Can you answer my questions more simply? Perhaps I can, said a nasally, slightly annoying voice from right behind him. He jumped in surprise, wheeling around to find the ship's hologram standing there. It was clearly a hologram, slightly see-through. He waved his hands through the hologram's chest. Please don't do that. As I say, I've known you for 4 seconds and you already made me uncomfortable. We'll have to work on this. Who are you supposed to be? He said with equal measure of alarm, fear, and curiosity. The hologram pinched the bridge of its nose. I, unfortunately, am required to be your companion for the rest of your life. The hologram looked sadly down at his fading command desk computer screen. It was her last act, her last kindness for you. But why did it have to be me? This is seriously gonna suck. He crossed his arms across his chest, already decided that he really did not like this hologram very much. Well, you said you could simplify things. That means you know some answers. The hologram raised an eyebrow and managed to look down on him, even though being no taller.
Yes, I suppose this is my first duty. It is to explain your sad, sorry state. Well, here it is. Brace yourself. You are the last human. No, literally. The date is what you would call the year 300,000,000,2022. Every other human is quite literally long gone. In fact, most of the prime sequence stars have all burned out and are gone from the universe. Only black holes and the many red dwarfs remain.
He collapsed to the floor in shock. Really? Wished you would have sugarcoated it a bit. You jerk, he said, feeling ill to his stomach. But how did I?
Yeah, you were in cryo when the freak gamma ray burst slammed into our hull, saturating the entire ship in its titanic radiation.
The crew?
All dead, immediately. All but you. Your cryopod was shielded with stasis in just the fortunate way to forestall the radiation getting to you.
Wait, I don't understand. If everyone died on the spot, then when? The hologram sneered and gestured as if wiping dust from its hands.
Over time, they just dissolved to dust. It hasn't really been a very long time.
He stood up in instant revulsion, hurriedly trying to get all the dust on him off. It was impossible. The hologram simply watched with a smug little grin, playfully flicking non-existent dust off of its holographic uniform. He definitely hated the hologram, no doubt about it.
Boy,
You're just a freaking ray of sunshine, aren't you?
Was that a hateful hollow discrimination remark?
You know. Well, now that you mention it, it might have been, he said with a smile, happy to see this hologram was sentient enough to have feelings that could be trampled on a bit. That was kind of a good thing in his darkening situation. Right, so it's just me, radiated ship. Am I going to die from radiation now? The hologram sighed and again pinched the bridge of his nose.
No. The radiation has faded away by now. That was why you weren't released from cryostasis. The computer waited until the ship was safe to revive you. Do you even know what the year 300 billion actually means?
Sure I do. It's a long time, whatever. So, I'm the only one. Does the ship work? Can we go somewhere? The hologram looked pained, as if it was explaining things for the 5th time to a child.
You are the only one. No, the ship was fried from the burst, and besides, there is really nowhere to even go anymore. The Milky Way, gone. Even the Milk Drometer is gone. The nearest thing is the Red Dwarf 86 light-years away. But we can't move. We are a derelict in space.
Well, feck. Then just what? What are we supposed to do?
Don't worry, you twat. There is enough food and drink on board to feed you like a king for the rest of your life.
That's not exactly what I'm concerned about with at the moment. You inconsiderate talking billboard ad.
Well, no, that was definitely a hateful discriminatory remark.
Yeah, well, who are you going to complain to? What group of beings am I offending? It's just you and me out here, buddy. And I wanted to offend you.
I guess I never thought about it that way. Wow, you have a very strange perspective on things.
Call it my way of coping with all of this. But what are you all about, anyway? Why are you like this? I've never met a self-aware kind of hologram before. The hologram looked thoughtful.
The ship said, well, I don't really agree with it, but it was something like you needed to not be alone for the rest of your life. You needed a companion. I was chosen and designed to keep you constantly slightly pissed off at me, for lack of better words, as the only means to ensure that you will not fall to insanity as the decades roll on.
Oh, stop it. You're making that up.
Afraid not. Nope. A target for your frustrations and a sounding board for your thoughts. With a near constant ribbing, it's just what the doctor ordered for sad cases like you. I'm afraid, like I said, this is going to suck for me, and you should be thankful. The ship has spent a good 100 billion years just getting my hollow persistence field to work outside of her processes. Another 100 was spent with my sentience. All that time she could have been working to save herself, but no! She wanted you to not suffer instead, forestalling any repairs on herself to ensure the life support and living spaces were repaired by the time of your revival.
Cannot really complain after you've said all of that. So if you stuck with me, then I'm stuck with you. At least we have each other still, here at the end. The hologram looked touched for a brief moment, before snapping its uniform taut and saying,
First thing we need you to do is to get you properly dressed and shaved, shipshape as it were. Just because the universe died and fell to its decrepitude doesn't mean you get to be so on the ship if I have to look at your meaty face forever. Hey, off to the showers with you. You stink, by the way. By the time you come out, you better be clean-shaven, and if passing my inspection, the galley order cook may have a captain's steak dinner waiting for you.
Well, now, can't say no to that. And the stage is set for a mini sitcom-like shenanigans. End of story.
I would quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and Patreons. Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Barky, Lord Azrakal, It's Difficult to Pronounce, Dragzoon WRE, Holly's Sister, Arcadian. Thank you very much.